Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. God, I got to remember my own name. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. Haven't done a show in about 4 days. What happened? What happened to your boy? Let's see. I woke up. I woke up quick at about noon. Just thought that I had to be in Costco soon. Nah, I got to get drunk before the day begins, before my mama starts bitching about my friends. No, I actually had it's on this eye. Yes, hello. I had, because I see it reversed in the screen. I had a cornea abrasion, and I had an ulcer on my eye. It was unbelievably painful. It was to the point where I went to work, and they were just like, because I have the keys and alarms, right? So that's all they need me for. They don't need me to do anything. Yo, boss, just go sit in the room. And they were like, just go sit down. You can't be out here. I was crying. I couldn't function. They put some steroids in my eyes, numbed them. Didn't matter. Went and got a treatment done. The next day, I'm like, yo, I got to miss work. First time I missed work in years, like over a decade. And I was so mad about that, about missing work. But then my wife's like, hey, you got to get yourself right. And I was like, mama, I got all this insurance. I got all this shit I pay for. I'm going to use it. I'm going to go to this optometrist. So I called my mom, my mom, the one I actually talked to, and we have a great relationship with. Talked to my mom. My mom's like, I'll be right there to pick you up. So my mom takes me to the eye doctor, and it was pretty awesome. And she took me to her doctor. I was like, hey, here's my son, blah, blah, blah. And if the optometrist that saw me was actually my grandmother's optometrist. My grandmother's passed. But this dude's been around forever. He's been doing it for like 60 years. I'm like, who's this old-ass dude? He's like, son, you're going to be here in 3 years again if you keep wearing your contacts to bed. I go, but doc, they say overnight. They say I can wear them for a month straight. He goes, I don't care. Don't do it. I've learned my lesson. I'll be taking them off every night. Don't care. When the clothes come off, my contacts are coming off. I'm going to look real good in the dark. That's all I can tell you. I was freaked out for you, bro. I've been worried as F about my eyes. Let me tell you, Stacks, this shit. Whoo, bro, it's still red. It's still sensitive to light. Like, it was to the point where I had my phone at 1% brightness. Like, brightness all the way at the very bottom. And it was still too bright to look at the phone. I couldn't drive at night. I was blinded at night. The lights were blinding me. Everything was blinding me. So I was like, I can't be in here right now. I just went to a black room, pitch black, blacked out. And they put this gel in my eyes and they let me rest. And it got a little bit better. But I'm still too sensitive right now to be out there, out and about. I tried today. I did make my rounds. I went to GameStop. Guys, I had a lot of fun at GameStop today. Here's the thing. So the night before, 4th of July, I go to my family's house. My dad, my mom, all my brothers and sisters are there except for 2. And we're all hanging out. We're all talking. And we're all having a good time. And then my little brother goes, yo, bro. He goes, I know you only shop at GameStop. He goes, I get it. He's like, but they got Pokemon cards, bro. I was like, where? He's like, Walgreens. I said, there's no way they got them at Walgreens. Dude, they're sold out everywhere. He goes, trust me, bro. I saw them behind the counter. And I was like, no. So I walked over there. Walgreens right next door. I get in there. Sure enough, they had them. And I was like, nobody knows you guys have Pokemon cards there. I guess not. I was like, I'll take them all. I felt like a scalper. I was like, I'll take them all. Truth is, I'm going to give them all away. I got a whole box of stuff to give away. I bought the tins. You guys seen the ripping videos we did? I bought those. I bought the new stuff today. I got the new. I got a new book. If you guys don't know about my new little book, this is my new collection book myself. I'm putting it together for Pokemon cards. There's some cards in here that I plan on, checking out what I could actually keep. Because I give everything away. If you guys know me, I have thousands of dollars. I don't give a damn. The shirt was $4, pros. You guys don't know. This is a $70 shirt at Macy's, right? You can check out the brand all you want. $70 at Macy's. Well, I found it for $4 because it was on this clearance rack. Remember, all these stores that are going out of business, like Macy's, go in there. Go in there and look at the clearance. And I'll be like, yo, you got my size? Yo, this shit fits right. This is nice. Yeah, it wouldn't matter what it was. It's $4. I'm buying. It was $4.97. It does not matter. I will buy it. I will buy it because I will either wash my truck with it, or I'll wash my body with it, or I'll wear it. One of the 3 things I'll do. It doesn't matter. But yeah, there we go. Thank you guys. 4th of July, went and bought those things. And then I went to, they did this damn drone show. Let me tell you how anticlimactic that is. Guys, And when I grew up for 4th of July, right? We're talking about gunshots, fireworks, don't know the difference. I want to see cars on fire, houses getting caught, palm trees on fire. I want to see some shit. I want to hear it. I want to feel it. I want to hear it in my chest, feel it in my boom, boom. I want to feel my beat harden. No. Okay, guys, now we're going to have this drone show. Looked up at the sky, said, yo, if this ain't the most Chinese shit ever. Like, because that's what I think about. I think about the Chinese Olympics when they had the most amazing drone show ever. And I was just like, yo, look at this drone show. And this thing was kind of weak. And it was over in 15 minutes. It don't make no noise. So when they transition, all you hear is the crowd go, ooh, ah, ooh. I was like, yo, bro, this shit is weak. And so we left. You shouldn't have been in no damn drone show. Anyways, Mr. Magoo, yeah, tell me about it. I had to take my family. It was at night, and I just parked there. I was in the dark. Ask my wife. I was on the other side of the grass in the dark. I wasn't hanging out with them. It was weak. Don't ever let me hear somebody say, guys, drone show coming. There's going to be a great one. Guys, I'll save you all the drama. Stay home. It's not even worth it. Oh, man, it was bad. It was that bad. Anyway, I've got so much that I was trying to study for. Get ready for the markets. You know, I hate Wall Street so much, guys. Like, to the point where we're going to go over some videos, some clips, some info that's coming out right now. You guys know about Bitcoin. If you guys don't know, there was a massive move on Bitcoin on Friday. So hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to be right back because my wife has lost her damn mind. So my wife is getting ready to go out tonight. I can't even hear myself think. Hold up. Check it out, guys. I'll be around. Yeah, Rapping Forte. Got it. Great song, by the way. Yo, wifey's out. She don't care. She's getting ready. Yeah, she took my speakers. I was trying to figure out why my walls are rattling. She took my speakers and put them in the room, and she's bumping. All right, whatever, Mom. I'm going to try to concentrate. It's going to be really hard to concentrate. Okay, back to what I was saying about Bitcoin. All right, listen up. So there's like some mysterious, I don't even know, 8 wallets, 10 wallets, whatever they are. And they started moving the original Bitcoin transactions from 2013, I believe, 2011, 2013, where someone bought 10,000 Bitcoins for, I believe, 79 cents a piece. They're now worth $109,000 at the time. So someone cashed out $8.7 billion they were moving over the weekend. They don't know who. They're trying to say Satoshi, blah, 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 all this crap. I don't care, right? What I do care is to tell you that if Bitcoin's finally selling off at the beginning, guys, right? The start, guys, that means new money's coming in, so then it'll start going up again. It's like you plateau at a certain level because there's only so much Bitcoin circulating. As you guys know, 95% of all Bitcoin has been mined and institutionally owned. I think it's like the top 2% of wallets own the majority of Bitcoin. So it's bullshit for what people are telling you and trying to get to you. Saying, oh, you should invest into it. No, you should not. You personally, you should not. Corporations backing by it, sure. I don't believe in this deflationary shit, this nonsense that people talk about. You know, when people say, oh, you lost more money by not putting your money into the bank itself. You know, you could have earned 2% back on your money or whatever they tell you. They try to tell you some shit, right? I don't know what they think you're losing by holding a security when you bought in at a great entry. Right? If you guys don't know about great entries, let's talk about great entries because that's GameStop right now. We're going to talk about charts, okay? This is the quarterly, guys. The quarterly chart is here for GameStop. So I had to hear some naysayers out there. I pay attention to a lot of things. And they were talking about how GameStop doesn't have like this staying power. Like it used to be this and now it's this and everyone's lost their money, whoever put in. I just want to let everybody know out there. If you are still in GameStop after 5 years, after 4.5 years, like the bulk of us, the majority of us, then you really understand fundamentals. That means you've studied the tape, you understand the game. But I want to give you more than just, what they put in front of you. And what I mean I'm talking about the meltdown and, Wedbush. They put out these articles just on Friday, Thursday that, it's a sell. On Thursday, I believe Thursday morning is when they dropped the article and said it's a sell at $13.50. And that's absolutely crazy, right? If you look right here on the quarterly report, GameStop has now hit an all-time high. Guys, all-time high of over $20 billion on the OBV. and that is your on-balance volume. That means there are more people buying this float on green days than red days. They're not selling the stock, they're buying it. The whole world is buying it. The OBV to be over 20 billion shares on a float of 447 million that was not 447 million most of the time. This stock had the time in 2021, just to give an example, when it was 15 billion on OBV, the stock, the actual float, was only 60 million shares. If you multiply that, because if we're going to take into consideration the 4X, then yes, 200, 300, as you guys know, 304 million shares. But as it's gone over the years, and you keep looking at it, there's a time when it was at 17 billion, last year. 17.5 billion last year in March. Since the stock came down in value, went back up and shot through the moon, this stock has broken over 20 billion now at this level. What does that mean? When you guys talk about can the stock fall down, I had somebody type to me some bullshit on TikTok, and they go, hey, man, is this stock coming down to 14? Is it coming down to 16? I want to buy in. I got some lunch money. One, I hate those questions. Don't ask me where the stock's going. Hey, TikTok, YouTube, pay attention. Every time they ask me, Marantz, I'm coming into some money. What should I do with it? Is the stock going to come? One, I don't care what you do with your money. I've never cared. I've never asked you guys for a dollar a dime. I don't work that way. I know a lot of people know the way I am about taking money from people. It's been widely known. I frown upon it, right? I'm not here for your money. I have my own money. I'm Ryan Cohen of investing. Of YouTube. I put my own money in to my investment. That's all I care about. All I care about, when people talk to me, I don't go like this. I can't wait till I get more super chat money, and then that means I'm going to make it in life. No, my investments are why I'm going to make it. My investments and my job. I work really hard at my job. It's not like I'm sorry I'm not the janitor. I know a lot of people like to put this out there like, oh, he's Goodwill Hunting, he's the janitor. I wish I was, in a way. Then you guys would have more belief, over why I do things. But nope, you guys will never understand. Like, there's a different fight out here. I'm trying to move something really quick. It's throwing me off mentally, like visually. I'm trying to, that'll get me through the day right there, even though it's supposed to be closer. Something happened to my setup while I was, I don't know, maybe somebody came into my room. I'll fight them all, bro. No one's allowed in here. This is a private area. Any of you guys have like a man layer, like look at this box, bro. This is the original box. It's all glared out because of the light where I have the light. This is my Super Metroid original, intact. Everything's inside except for the game. I go to my dad and I go, hey, man, where's all my games, dude? He goes, oh, man, I don't know. They're in the room over there. And I go over there and nothing's there. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding, bro? Look at this. He said, then he said, hey, man, that thing's worth money over there. I don't know what it is. This is a poster? It's a Metroid poster. Be part of the Super Power Club fan club. I don't know. We grew up playing Metroid and every other game on Super Nintendo. So that was a down ass game right there. But used to have the game. I don't know. A lot of games were missing from my dad's house. We were looking for them this weekend. We were all my brothers, me and my two brothers who actually game. We were looking for them. And then I did find my Super Game Boy. The one where you put in the Super Nintendo and you put the little Game Boy games in it and you can play them on your Game Boy. Yeah, that's hardcore right there. But I did find that. I didn't find anything else. Anyway, back to the story that I was talking about before I got distracted in my own brain. When people start asking me, what the hell is this? What? Bro, get over there. That's my Minecraft lamp. My whole setup's whack. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, people start asking me what to do with their money. I'm just going to tell you guys, don't ask me. I'm not here for your money. I do fine. But for the one, like right here, I love what Stack said. Stack said, he told somebody, he said, hey, man, because somebody said, get me a free membership. And Stack said, bro, they're $3. Get one yourself. Do you understand the value you get from, like, hanging out with me? The value, okay? Not only education, not only entertainment, you get somewhere to be. Right? Gather, hang out. You get a network, Discord, 1,100 people active in the Discord. You get a YouTube, 14,000 people. You get a TikTok, 20,000 people. You get a Twitter, 6,000 people. Everyone's connected, right? Via GameStop only. It's a cult. 10 cents. 10 cents a day. to sponsor the show, to be a part of it, to join it. 10 cents. Or you don't have to pay at all. It's free. But if you wanted a membership to see the member-only videos, 10 cents a day is out. Get out of here, bro. I'm cheaper than saving dogs and cats online with some Sarah McLachlan music playing behind me. In the arms of an angel. In the arms that save me. 10 cents a day, bro? If you don't have a nickel, a dime a day for this info that's going to save you millions, no, bro, I'm the wrong guy. Anyway, I do have the OCD CXT. I'm sorry. But anyway, back to what I was saying before I got it all. We were looking at GameStop. We're looking at the chart. And people need to know what they're actually looking at, okay? Let's do it. So, OBV is 20 billion. To give an example of a float of $500 million, you are looking at, for GameStop themselves, somebody do the quick math. Is that 50x? We're at around 447 million, so we're about almost 50x. I don't have my calculator on me right now, but I'll just ballpark it and say 50x, okay? That's a phenomenal number, if I'm not mistaken. It's up past 40. 40 times the float on OBV to the positive, right? I want to challenge people to look at the Mag 7, and we can look at things like Berkshire Hathaway, okay? Berkshire. If we look over here, there's a stock that nobody sells, allegedly, that everybody buys into. Their OBV is 2.55 million on 1.44 million. So 2 times their float. Netflix, one of the most bought things in the world, 31 billion on a float of 400. So Netflix is beating GameStop. I'm okay with Netflix beating GameStop, believe it or not. I really am. Netflix, more power to you. You're one of the best things going on. You change the world. Everyone watches. Everyone's part of it. So there's Netflix, okay? Costco. Costco's at 5 billion on a float of 400. Nope. Killing them. The SPY, we don't count. I could count the SPY. It's at 180 billion, but you don't have a volume on that. Right here, Microsoft. Microsoft at 58 billion versus 7. Killing Microsoft. Meta, 29 billion on a float of 2.51. Beating them too. Monsters, guys. We're 40x. 40x. I hope people know the number. 40x. Google is at 66 billion on a float of 12. Nope. Amazon, 362 billion on a float of 10. So they're close to us. But other than Netflix, it's Netflix and Apple that are beating us. That's it. Apple, 1.1 trillion on a float of 14 billion. Yes, Apple is beating us. I get it. I'm okay with it. Right here, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is 71 billion versus 24. They're only 3x their float. And then Tesla, 53 on a 3. No. We're beating everybody. My point is, we're beating everybody. We are literally like a blue chip stock when it comes to OBV. The amount of volume floating into our stock and never leaving, it is diamond hands. So, we know that this stock is going nowhere. Now, do you see this yellow line right here, the bottom? You guys see it. I'm going to turn it into a red line. A dark, thick red line. Red's not good. Let's see if we can do blue. Blue's great. So there's the blue line right there, guys. You guys see it? Plain as can be. That line, just so that we're clear. Oh, no. This line here, I'll make it thin again just so you can see it. And we make sure that we're not crossing. So this line is your level of support for GameStop. If we ever broke below this blue line, then we've lost support. And we might just be headed down, allegedly. You know, maybe it would be the best time to buy. I would put it that way. True buy zone. Right now is the best time to buy because we're laying on the blue line. So as we look at the stock on the monthly, we have true support stemming from 64 cents a share, reinforced right back here at the 200-day moving average, and that $10, well, it's like $9.95 right here where we actually bounced off of with the previous highs from previous quarters, right? So we're right over here on the monthly. We're going up and to the right. We're walking up the blue line. We're about to approach a new month where we should see an uptick. We should come up and fill the gap all the way up to 28, 29. still spread out, still step up. Next earnings report, break out into this new zone. By the end of the year, break out into another tip of this cup and handle. This is the true reversal of this stock, of this company, of everything you own. Now, we look at it from this standpoint. We're going to draw, okay? So this is the purple. This is where GameStop shot up to, came down to. Now it's turning it back up. This is your turnaround of the company, okay? It's a true turnaround of the company, and all the fundamentals in the world tell you that. Every indicator, every metric they want to measure that you judge value on is there, okay? The one thing they'll tell you is growth, and we'll explain growth in a minute and why I'm so positive on GameStop, but this is what's happening with your stock, okay? Now, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to hear some talk from some investors, some wise people out there. They think they're wise. You're going to hear talk about diversification. They want to diversify their portfolios, and they want to get to delta neutral, okay? That means zero exposure. What people have to know is that the longs on GameStop, the people that are institutionally long on the stock, are also shorting the stock, okay? They're on the backside of the stock. And why do they do that, guys? So it's a delta neutral position, meaning they don't want to be too far up or too far down. They want to go ahead and take care of themselves. It's called hedging. That's why they're called hedge funds, right? So they're hedging their positions. Now, they can hedge for years. They can hedge for days. I wouldn't care. A lot of things that help you hedge, like whenever you're doing these bank stress tests, if people knew what's being announced right now, there's a new announcement about banks and how Goldman is doing a stress test. And the new regulatory way of reporting says that you don't have to put private equity investments on the books. Well, guess why? I mean, I know why, but guess why? Because private equity, one, it's a forever investment. Private equity gets to bill, they get to put their money into one thing, and then if it ever goes sideways, another private equity firm comes in and helps them out. It's a la Melvin Capital, right? Melvin Capital comes in, Melvin Capital's upside down, they get margin called, and instead of, blowing them out and throwing them under, well, Gabe Plotkin and GameStop, the way GameStop did it to them, no, he's able to make the call. He gets money from Steve Cohen. He gets money from Ken Griffin. Next thing you know, there's $4 billion on the table, and they're okay. They're okay because they have a hedge. See, by having collateral, that means the banks don't call on you. You can unwind. You can close when the stock. This is the whole thing about the stock market, guys. What happened back in 2021? It wasn't that they closed positions, right? This stock went all the way to the sky. Pay attention, okay? The stock goes all the way to the sky. Maybe I should do it on the weekly so you guys can really see what happened. So right here, this is the weekly. So when this shit went crazy, GameStop, 120, which was really times 4 because of the split, it's really went all the way up to 480. That crippled some hedge funds, crippled a lot of people that didn't have collateral on the other side. What they did was they halted. They halted everything. Halted everything they could that they were pumping. AMC was pumping. American Airlines was pumping. I showed you the 9 securities that they halted. 8 of them are private equity investments. So private equity, from what I can see, has influence. Citadel owns private equity as well. They have investments in there as well. We've talked about this in Connect the Dots. But what they did was they halted GameStop all the way at the top and did position-only close, right? Position close only? Yeah, PCO. So what it was, they only forced you to sell. You could only sell. But you say, well, wait a minute. If I can only sell, who's buying? You get where I'm coming from? Here's what happens. They're pushing the stock down in value. That's what this big red candle is. And when it got all the way down here, you found out as they settle, there's settlement dates here. No one delivered shares. Everyone just sat on their hands. They didn't deliver the shares. They weren't finding shares at this price. They waited till it got unstuck, as we would call it, or they opened it back up. But what did they do by then? They already had a hedge. They had the hedge of AMC. They had the hedge of, back then it was SNDL. It was, cannabis stocks. It was everything they could come up with. They were throwing it until they found AMC for real, and then they went with it. But by closing it out this way, this allowed banks, institutions, everyone to find leverage. They were able to go out and swap out the risk off the books. You never saw it. You never got. Nobody crumbled. And they ask you, how is that even allowed? It's not allowed. It's not allowed. It's like, it's not even fair. It's like taking your ball home and saying, you know what, we'll play tomorrow. It's like, what do you mean? We're up 5-10, and I've got the guys. We're all here. And nobody gets to come back and play on the same team. It's like that. It's crazy. And this is why people went to Wall Street. This is why people went to Congress and went on the Hill. Explain it to us. And right here goes Robinhood. Oh, we didn't have enough money. People are buying on margin. People were buying on margin. I hope people know how this actually worked. With GameStop, the way it was going, people were putting in $1,000 to open up a new account. And when you open up a new account on Robinhood at that time in 2021, Robinhood was matching you on margin. So if you put $2,000 in, you got $1,000 cash, $1,000 margin. They were helping you. They were doubling up on your margin. They don't care. They're going to win either way. You make money off of margin, guess what? You're going to give them a percentage anyway. But it did care when it kept going the other way. Because now they're giving you a free $2,000, and everybody was opening up new accounts on Robinhood at that time. Man, let me go open up an account. Dude, if I put in $1,000, you mean to tell me I can buy 2 shares of GameStop? Cool, it's going to go up anyway. It's going to go to the moon. Well, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to do margin too. Now, Robinhood doesn't have enough margin, enough cash to carry the margin. They can't settle at the end of the day. That's what happened. There was other brokers that were upside down even more than Robinhood. But they put it right in front of you. Here's Robinhood. Here's who it is. Had nothing to do with Citadel. I don't know why people kept doing that, but it was just to put, the shade away from private equity. But guess what? Private equity always comes into play because what was dispatched back then, guys? People know this stuff. I don't know if you guys aren't here like for the whole run. What was happening back then was there was these SPACs coming out. And SPACs, if people really look into SPACs and like how they work, SPACs are an idea. It's a blank check company, right? It's like, hey, I've got all this money and I want to go ahead and partner up with another company. I want to merge. And when they merge, a SPAC comes in at an open investment of $10 a share. That's it. They just come out and they go, you know what, we're going to sell some shares of this SPAC. We haven't partnered with anybody yet, but you can come buy some shares of us. And when we partner up, then you're going to get true value on this SPAC. So people start finding out what these SPACs are actually leading to, what companies they're actually merging with. And it would be Lucid, right? CCIV. It would, and if I ever showed you how that played out. CCIV and Lucid, just so that we're clear, watch this. CCIV doesn't exist, right? Lucid Group, right here. Do you see it? Lucid came all the way up to $73, right here, 2021, right when GameStop gets halted. Are you paying attention to SPACs, guys? GameStop gets halted. GameStop starts running. You need something to hedge it. Okay, so you're going to go up. Now we pump all liquidity out of here. Before they ever merged with Lucid, CCIV was the darling. You went literally from $10 a share all the way to 73. You got 7x your money. People remember stuff like this. So when we were talking about like what's running SNDL, we've talked about SNDL because the people that own it and run it are actually pro private equity. Well, what happened back then? Your stock's coming all the way to the ground. GameStop's run, boom, it's right here. Right here. Right when GameStop gets shut down. You're shut down on GameStop, guess what happens? They need something to hedge it. So this thing, and it'd be only because it's split so many different times, the equivalent of $1.27 today, $39, it was really $3, right? $3.96. So it was a 10-to-1 reverse split that they've done. That's what that is right there. But you were buying SNDL for $1 and it went up 400%. You were in. There was so many stocks like this, but there's so many that were NIO. NIO is another one. NIO comes out. I love these 24-hour stocks. Look at this. You pump all the way to the sky. Right there. Boom. 1/15/2001. You're pumping along with who? With GameStop. Drop off, pump all the liquidity out of it. You can't even find this stock. It's $3. I know people who got margin called on this thing when it was at $30 a share. Because it was all the way up at 60 and went to 30 within the next month. What were you going to do? There's so many investments like this that took the steam out of GameStop. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm not mad at it, right? Like, that's not why I'm telling you this story. I'm telling you it because you have to know how these guys operate. Like, how these banks operate. And the reason why I brought up SPACs is because SPACs, okay, you get to go hide money into these companies and say you're going to form another company. Well, The most SPACs in the history of the world was launched in 2020 and 2021. Just so happens that's when GameStop takes off, right? And they're going to tell you it's because all this money was at the banks and the banks had nothing to do with it. You had COVID, you came out of COVID, you're going through, and you have nothing to do with it. You could do nothing with this money. We have to do something. It's itching. Our palms are itching. Did you guys see, I believe it was Federal and Signature Bank, and there was another one that went under. First, I can't remember the other one that went under right now. It was Silicon Valley Bank. Yeah. Go look at the books. I think I had them for $18 billion on SPAC investments. Do you know what happens in 2021? Watch this, guys. 2021, March. All the SPACs, right? They're all out in effect. You got 2 years to make your investment. Or you reverse it and you give back the money to the investors. So if you bought shares at $10, you're going to get $10 a share back to you if they never merge with the company. Guess what happened to most of these SPACs? They never merged with the company. So all those banks that launched SPACs in 2021, they had to return and give the money back. Do you know the bullshit they sold you in 2023? Are you guys unfamiliar with the banks that crumbled in 2023? We had literal banks crumble, and nobody talked about why. It was because in 2021, they gave money out for SPACs. In 2023, they had to return it, and you couldn't return it. You know why? Because the interest rates were sky high. Compared to getting free money in 2020 and 2021, you are now paying interest rates of 5 to 6%. This is widely known. They're going to call it commercial real estate. They're going to call other bullshit, and the truth was they were set out on SPACs. Go do your homework on this. The reason why we talk about it is because they have utilized every investment tool against GameStop. None of this existed, guys. None of this even came into the fold. You never heard about crypto being leveraged versus GameStop? Oh, yeah? Tell me when Doge took off. Tell me when Doge took off, and I'll play your game. Let's go look at Doge. Dogecoin. When did Doge take off? We'll go to the weekly. When did it take off? What was this? 2021? Way down here? March, April. Before this. Why are they only showing me this? No, we can go back further. I know it was even before this. Because Doge existed well before. Why won't they show me before 2021? What the hell? It went up crazy. It was like fractions of a penny. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, 74 cents. Get out of here. We're talking about when it was at 3 cents to 9 cents. That's where the money was. That's where the problem was. Doge is the same way. It's all the same thing. Shiba Inu, I don't care what they want to name for you. This is how you hedge what you're looking at. Now that we're at GameStop, and you guys understand that they're using everything against it, and I'm telling you they're running out of time. The reason why they're running out of time is because this blue line's not going down. This blue line only goes up. And the greatest part about the blue line is that this is the weekly chart. I've already shown you OBV that's plus 20 billion shares to the positive. 20 billion volume is the most. It is the third largest position ratio in the stock market. In the history of the stock market, GameStop holds the third largest ratio of all time today. There are over 20 billion shares to the positive on OBV. It is not even possible with the float of 447 million for you guys to think that this stock is $23 is laughable. But I've got other factors. We take into consideration the SOAP, right? The sum of all parts. You take into consideration financials, fundamentals. Yes, they're positive. GameStop makes a profit. They're never going bankrupt. I mean, it's phenomenal. They have more cash, just as much cash as Walmart. Like, they're that big. They're massive compared to anybody. Do you realize the liabilities on GameStop's docket? It's $300 million for their company. They have 3,000 stores. I've seen the leases myself. They pay nothing for these leases, guys. It's nothing. They operate a company for $300 million minus the inventory. And they have $9 billion cash. You're crazy. You're crazy. If they wanted to, they could, boom, 12,000 GameStops, and it wouldn't cost them not even half their money. It would cost you a couple of $1 billion. They'd be fine. People don't know this. They don't understand the numbers. They don't understand how much $1 billion is because they're told it's not a lot. They're told NVIDIA is $1 trillion company. This is what they're told. Guys, we're talking about a company that hasn't done anything with their cash yet. Okay, and they're coming up with great ideas. Don't worry. But the margin themselves, the margin. Guys, I had somebody ask me about operating margin versus Best Buy. You can't compare GameStop and Best Buy. You want to know why? Best Buy's tapped out. That's all they've got. All they have is a 3% ops margin, profit margin. That's it, 3%. They pay a dividend that they can't even afford. And what do? They bring in their cash and it goes out. Cash comes in, cash goes out. Do you know what retained earnings is on Best Buy over the last 3 years? It's a plus of like $9 million. On a $30, $40, $50 billion in revenue a year, they're plus $9 million in retained earnings over the last 3 years. That's what you're doing business for? That's what you're invested for? I'd hate to show you what GameStop is, guys. We're talking about $1 billion swing. Not 9 million, $1 billion swing from the negative to the positive over the last 3 years. This is how different we are. We're not even at the pinnacle of what we can be and what we will be. We're at the start. That's the difference for GameStop. Dylan, what's good, babe? Hey, I'm telling you guys right now, I'll show you all the numbers. We'll explain everything. I have other things to show you. But when I'm studying, right? I'm studying and I blow myself away. I'm like, yo, look at this number, man. Nobody even knows this number, 20 billion on OBV. Nobody knows that Best Buy only made $9 million on literally on retained earnings. You're like, what are we doing? That's what you're doing. All your money's out. It's a flush business. It's like Home Depot. Assets versus liabilities is flush. Like you're not really pocketing anything. So when the company gets to trade at 6x on book, you go to yourself and you say, well, what the hell? Why did they get to trade 6x on book, but we trade 1? We trade 2. Could you imagine GameStop trading 10x book? Let me tell you how much of a knockout blow it is right now. If GameStop were to trade 2 times their cash, leverage themselves 2 times their cash, S&P 500 eligibility. It's that dire. It's so real to Wall Street that they are shitting themselves, guys. Ryan Cohen has them backed up to the floor to match my shirt. My wife, thank you, honey. Dallas Cowboy Cup. You know what it is. Oh, shit. No. Damn, we're ready. Okay, listen. Mama knows. Oh. I got to tell you guys this stat. I don't know if you guys know this stat, but it's a stat that runs in my mind all the time. Okay. In 1993, the Dallas Cowboys started the season 0-2. I still remember. They had lost to the Bills. They were 0-2. And I remember my dad saying, man, Emmett's holding out. He's got to come back. Emmett's that good, by the way. The blasphemy against Emmitt Smith is crazy to me. The Cowboys went on a 4-0 run. They went 4-2. Their game is against the Eagles, the 5th game. Ruben, shout out to Ruben for sending me the clip that I had to trigger my brain. Emmitt Smith ran for 230 yards. All these bitches out here talking about Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, Adrian Peterson. I got to hear all this shit. David Thomas. Emmitt ran for 230 through the Eagles. This dude was scoring 25 touchdowns. This guy's an all-time touchdown leader. Last I checked, that's what it takes to win a game. Emmitt Smith deserves respect. I just thought I'd take that break to tell you, Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, Emmitt Smith, bro. Anyway. No good, BB. It's a bad buy. Oh, wow. Yeah, you know, Best Buy is actually not that bad of an investment. They pay 5% on a dividend. Massive. I mean, what we're doing is we're trying to compare things to GameStop to give it value because Wall Street won't. Right? When there's 8,000 paid analysts in the world for securities, 8,000 paid analysts in the world, and GameStop's only covered by 1. That has to be a crime, guys. This is collusion. All of Wall Street in 2021, I was there, I still remember, they all agreed to not cover GameStop. They refused to give it coverage, and they're pissed off that Ryan Cohen won't do interviews. I know a lot of companies that don't do interviews. I know a lot of companies that don't tell the world what they're doing. They just go. They put down the sheet. And back in the day, it would be you put down an S4, right? And that's whenever you're going to file to go public. You just, boop, here you go. You put down these things. Right now, we're putting down 10Qs and 10Ks. And right now, that's how we're invested. We're invested from from one quarter to the next. And then the best part about it is, it's how much FUD can they fit in between a 90-day period. I deal with so many obstacles in 90 days, it's crazy. Now, I've never been pursued so much with bullshit. Then when you actually see it happen in real time, you start going, you show back up and you go, hold on. You mean to tell me that GameStop is going to make $100 million this quarter and nobody knows it? No, they don't know. They have no clue as to what's coming. 100 million versus what? They only made what did they make last year? 14? Hold on. Don't let me just say it. Let me go find it. Because you know what I do. Guys, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere either. I'm going to be here for another couple of hours because, one, the drinks are flowing, and and the club's not, we don't go to the club till like 10 o'clock anyway. I got 3 more hours. I haven't given you a show in a while, so what was I doing during this downtime? Reading. So check this out. This is GameStop's quarterly report, right? Before I even do GameStop's quarterly report, can I show you the website? It's Anime Week. Super Anime Week. It's all out there. Shout out to all the Dodger fans that had a One Piece night where they gave out these One Piece cards and everybody was getting them. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this. There's only like 50,000 cards in the world on those, and people are getting them and gathering them. They're all in the Discord, by the way. Maybe I'll get one day. Maybe somebody will send me one as a gift. Who knows? I'm out here collecting shit now. So let's go to graded cards, just while we're here. They had 8,000 the other day. Look at all these cards. So I was in line today. And I talked to a lot of people in line. Scalpers, good collectors, right? Just good people for the movement. And I said, listen, man, you guys know you can go to GameStop, right? You can get your shit graded. You're okay, yeah? Oh, man, we can't trust them. I'm like, what? Bro, I talked so many people into GameStop. 8,126. If you put me in front of a GameStop, you're going to be okay. Just remember that, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, and you don't even have to pay me, bro. I'm just there. Here's another indicator I've been trying to pay attention to for you guys. This is called the Wilshire 5000 to GDP ratio. I showed you this. This is called the Buffett indicator. This tells you the value of the stock market right now. If it's overpriced, if it's underpriced, like how overvalued is it? The most expensive time to buy securities is right now, over 200%. This is the highest it's ever been, higher than the dot-com, higher than the housing crisis, right? The greater financial crisis. So we are terrible right now. We're so top-heavy. The top 10 companies run this market, and it's going to hurt. Here is Kristen Nessie, whatever her damn name is. I don't know how to say her name. She's the one that's explaining Goldman is $40 billion in potential losses is reduced to $300 million because the Fed is allowing the banks to hide their exposure to private equity to reset its stress test. Yes, I'm a firm believer that private equity buys private equity. I've seen so many deals go from one firm to the next, right? This firm's bought something for $5 billion. This firm's going to buy it 3 years later for $7 billion, whatever it may be, until they actually have to carve out the assets. They carve out assets eventually at the end, but everybody has a sweetheart deal. And the reason why is because you have family members, right? You have the Tony Resler deal. You have the Leon Black deal. You have all of the Mike Milken Institute, all their partnerships. And these are unspoken partnerships, but they're absolutely connected. There's no way that they're not. We've seen too many correlations. We see people piling, they call it piling. That's an actual term, piling, jumping. Jumping is the term. When you see multiple hedge funds jumping on investments and they all tear out a piece, we'll tear out the real estate, we'll tear out the logistics, we'll tear out the inventory, we'll tear out the personnel, we'll tear out the image and likeliness, we'll tear out the IP, we'll tear out the the .com, we'll tear out everything we can. Then at the end, what's left? PP seats. That's how it goes. And you go, hey, PP, how'd it work out for you, bro? Being uneducated about investing. I'm not saying I'm so damn smart. What I'm telling you is I've studied myself. I actually learned it myself. So if I'm able to learn it and teach people, you should have done the same by now. But, I mean, they've lied to so many people. There's so many people who lie to people, and I get it. I do. Sergio says, Marantz doing his DD in Braille. It's DD and Braille. Yeah, I mean, because I had no eyes. That's the way it went down. Sure, you had to be there. Let's see. Dexter moves. Dexter, you had all the time in the world to address the crowd, and this is what you put in. So, Dexter, I'm gonna tell you something, Dexter. Okay, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. A lengthy timeout, 30-minute timeout. You asked me about my brother. Okay, guys, listen. This is not something new to this channel. It's probably new to his network and his channel and his crew. Rico, he lied like you wouldn't believe. We've had these discussions about suing for slander, taking his platform. You know, you feel bad for people. You do. There's no doubt in my mind that you can't help that guy. But I leave it alone. I leave it alone out of respect to my family. But if that's what makes him tick at night and work harder, good for him. People were here in this channel for the last 4.5 years where I've been extremely transparent about who I am and what I am. And the words of my mother, and I wish I would have taped her yesterday, she said, "Boy, if you would have hit me when you were young, you would have been dead." I said, "Yeah, Mom, I know. It never happened." So there's just a lot like that. It's just too much, actually. Too much to even address. It's unfortunate for whatever he wants to say online. But as far as going to my funeral, I wouldn't want him there. He's not welcome there. I'll put it that way. He's not family. I don't know how he knows so much about me, which he doesn't. But he hasn't seen me since I was 16. I mean, we saw each other for his wedding. The guy has no friends, so he asked me to be his best man. So I went to his wedding. Great, good for him. And he's come over twice. Never even known my kids to talk about him. But I mean, it's just too much family shit, guys. And it's unfortunate. It's a guy who needs the clicks and views, but I've interviewed him on this channel in front of people. And you guys had to know who he was and what he was then. When he was dancing naked in front of the camera with his socks on, trying to get girls to text him. That's who he is. Not this bullshit like he's somebody. No, you guys got to miss me with the bullshit. And I don't need to reminisce on high school. I don't need to reminisce on girlfriends or whatever the hell is going on. I don't know. But if you say some shit and it gets you clicks, apparently that's okay. And that's where I'm going to leave it at, okay? If you don't understand, you'll never understand. But I'm an upstanding citizen, and plenty of people know my history here, and I've talked about it because I don't shy away from it. So wouldn't really care. Truth is, I would be at my brother's funeral tomorrow, okay? Not that he's dead to me or I won't ever show up. I pray for my brother. That's what I do. I believe in God. He doesn't. There's a lot of things that are different, okay? So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not. People say a lot of shit online so they can get clicks and views. And apparently that's the run. So good for him. Okay. It's crazy how people don't see what we do, or we just wired differently. Like, how can people understand what GameStop has accomplished and that the trajectory is? It boggles my mind. Terror 404, they just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe. You can tell them the truth all damn day. They believe, what they want to believe. So there you go. Thank you, Stacks, for asking that. Thank you, Amber. Amber, you'll figure it out. Like, a lot of people will figure out all the truth. I'll let people figure out and make up their own assumption. If people want to go on that route, they can. It's cool, man. But not me. And for the record, there's no adultery in my relationship. Man, there's some real crazy shit out there. But I'll just leave it alone. I let God deal with it. I really do. And I'm blessed, man. I own GameStop, and I don't think people know what that means. There's a lot of haters in this world. That's not the only. I think you guys want to hear something crazy? I'll play something crazy for you. We're doing crazy night, right? Here, let's hear some real crazy shit. And my boy's here. It's my boy. Now listen, this is Tonko Native. If you guys don't know Tonko Native, he lives abroad because he doesn't like American women, as he put it. He said that they treated him wrong in the past. But he hates me for because I wouldn't be his friend. And he's going to talk about GameStop. I'm going to play him at 1.5 because we got to play him at 1.5. Tonko, you asked for this. You asked for a little bit of love. He says, man, I can't get no plays. I'm going to get you some plays, Tonko. Here we go. By the way, Tonko Native has 13,500 subscribers. All right? His other channel has way more. This guy has subs. 49 views, and I'm one of them. Here we go.
So check this out, people. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been wondering where I've been, why I'm not constantly on YouTube posting a new video. The reason why that is
we're worried.
A few reasons. Reason number one, I've been traveling a lot, right? Traveling through the Philippines, and recently I just got back from Thailand some 3 weeks ago, and right now I'm planning to go back to the U.S. for a few months. I'm flying to Texas, and then I'm going to drive to the East Coast from Texas. After working a few months, I plan to return to the Philippines, right?
It's going to be in Texas.
And so this is one of the reasons why I haven't been posting on this channel. I have other channels which I post on, but lately I haven't been doing much for this channel because, frankly, there's really not much to talk about. And the reason why there isn't much to talk about is because if I come onto this channel
Yeah, we're good.
to talk about the same nonsense that the majority of people who I've been going after since 2019 when it comes to AMC and GME.
There was no going after GameStop people in 2019 or AMC people in 2019. So get your timeline right, Tonko. It didn't exist. But it's cool, bro. I like you, man.
These idiots who are constantly pumping this nonsense about AMC and GME going to the moon, then that's what my channel is going to be about. And my channel is not going to, its legacy is not going to be AMC and GME. The way the legacy for these scumbags channels are, right? Because if you go back to a lot of these channels like Marantz Rantz, Mikey's Money, Thomas James, and all of these other idiots who have been pumping this nonsense about AMC and GME and Roaring Kitty and all of this bullshit, right? You're going to notice that nothing's happened. Nothing's happened for AMC or GME. The only thing that's happened is that these stocks have tanked.
You guys
Now,
want him at 1.0?
a lot of people may say,
Okay, this is how he regularly
GME
talks. This is how fast he really talks. I had him at 1.5. Here, we'll hear him right now. Marantz Rantz. This guy's, he's awesome.
Tanked. GME is doing well. GME is at $23.50 right now as of May of 2025, right? Actually, June of 2025, right? Because
He didn't know it was June, bro? He made this shit 2 weeks ago. I just saw it today. Here we go.
last month it was in its 30s, right? And so they're going to want you to believe that GME is doing well, when in reality, anyone who's been following this bullshit stock knows that 5 years ago, GME's highs were in the 40s.
This is my favorite part.
50s, because I was sitting watching GME at $49 a share.
He's saying GameStop was at $49 to $50 5 years ago, and we're at 23 today. Pay attention, guys. This is where it gets good.
Share go up to $400 a share in 24 hours, right? And since that bullshit
Hold on.
stock
Here you go. Here you go.
knows that just 5 years ago, GME's highs were in the 40s, almost 50s, because I was sitting watching GME at $49 a share go up to $400 a share in 24 hours, right? And since that, GME has not consistently stayed in the 40s. Hell, it hasn't even consistently stayed in the 30s, right?
So from 400, it's down to the 40s and 30s. Who wants to tell him? I don't want to tell him. Who wants to tell him? Anybody want to tell him? Hello? Tonko? The stock split 4-1, bro. What was it, $30 last week? You think 30's 30? You're a special kind of somebody, bro.
And so if anybody wants you to believe that GME is doing well, when just 5 years ago, people were buying into the stock in the 40s, high 40s, low 50s, and the stock today is in the low 20s. So for anyone who wants to make you believe that the stock is actually doing well, when in 5 years it's only gone down from its highest to its low today, they're bullshitting you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, the only people who are doing well in GME are those who bought into it last year when the stock tanked to $9 a share. But anyone who bought into this nonsense bullshit stock 5 years ago is only losing money because they bought in at the top. They bought in at the 50s, in the hundreds, even 200s, right? And so they want to keep selling you this bullshit that GME is doing well when in reality it isn't, right? The same with AMC. I don't even have to talk about that stock because We know that Trace Trades became a millionaire.
Trace
on
Trades.
selling people bullshit, even though he lost all his money. I don't care how a man spends his money. The fact is that while everybody else was holding and losing their money in the stock, he at least got to spend his. And that's the difference between Trace Trades losing his money and these idiots who followed him, who lost their money in the play rather than selling it, playing with their money, and then losing it that way. Because I'd rather spend my money and not have it than to leave it in some bullshit stock, lose it, and not have it. And that's the difference, right? Because a lot of people want to talk.
There's no difference in what you're saying. You lose it and spend it, or lose it and spend it. You're still spending it, whether it's in stocks or you're spending it on steroids and drugs. By the way, Trey has a big gambling problem. So maybe he did lose it the way you thought he lost it. That's a poor analogy there, bro. But you know a lot of things about poor. You're doing good, though.
Talk shit about Trace Trades.
By the way, you've been making these videos for like 4 years. His name is Trey. Trey Trades, not Trace. What the heck? Can you read, bro? God, I get sick of this. Oh, it's all right. Hey, guys, we got a whole night of this shit. Oh, I love it.
Talking about, oh, yeah, he may have become a millionaire, but the fact is that he lost all his money because he spent it. Unlike you, who didn't get a chance to spend it. And that's the difference.
My bad, bro.
And so that's one of the reasons why I don't post any videos. Because this channel originally was just a channel about nothing, right? About everyday living,
We know.
everyday life, whatever, right? And then one day when I realized that people on YouTube were scamming people, lying to them, right? I mean, all you have to do is look, all you have to do is go back some 5 years, right? Go back some 5 years. And you will see that the same bullshit that they were selling you 5 years ago when GME was in its highs of 50s, low 50s, high 40s, the same bullshit they were selling you then about the stock going to the moon 5 years later is the same bullshit they're selling you today.
Yes.
They want you to buy into a stock that doesn't pay dividends, doesn't pay any dividends. You might as well put your money in the bank where at least you might get $1 a year in interest, which is a lot more than what GME has paid out to those who bought into this bullshit some 5 years ago and are still holding, right? Because if you want to invest in something that gives you a return, and rather than investing into something that it's a 50% chance or more that you will lose all of it, if not.
Hold on. So, Netflix doesn't pay dividends. I'm just picking one, but it's cool. And then, Berkshire Hathaway doesn't pay dividends either, but it's fine. You said there's a 50% chance that you're going to lose half of it or all of it if you buy the games. What? Oh, man. There's like 9 billion reasons why you won't, but we'll keep going.
Not 50% of it, which a lot of people have, right? And so when I came onto YouTube and I posted a video on the bullshit and the lies, I was attacked by a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I was getting a lot more views then than I'm getting today because people simply love to come on to my channel and talk shit. And look at them now. Nobody comes now. Nobody shows up. Nobody.
I'm here, baby. I'm here. Oh, I'm here for you. Keep going, Tonko. I love you.
Nobody wants to show me hate anymore. Where you at, people? I miss the hate. I miss Marantz Rantz talking shit. I miss all of these scumbags coming onto my channel talking shit.
Yeah.
The fact is that you lost. Not only did you lose, but you continue losing. And I'm not talking about those people who believed the lies and were deceived and taken advantage of, but I'm talking about those lowlifes and scumbags who have been doing the lying and the deceiving, and who have caused thousands, if not millions of people to lose their money because they bought into a play that they're stuck in, and now they want people to come in and bail them out. It's like a pyramid scheme, right? They're in the middle, they want to get to the top so they can jump off.
I mean, I don't understand. I keep buying into this play. Like apparently I'm broke and I'm lost and I don't have any money, Tonko. But I just keep buying. So maybe I don't know any better. But I need you to save me, Tonko. You and your. I'm coming back to the States to make money dollars. That's what I need.
And so they got to keep pushing this bullshit narrative the same way the Democrats hold on to that bullshit, right? They want to die on that mountain. They want to die on that hill, talking about the border being secured, talking about there's no crime in LA, talking about peaceful protests, as if though people don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? That's what these GME and AMC pumpers are like, the Democratic Party, because they lie to your face and they actually believe that with eyes to see, you can't see them. With ears to hear, you don't hear, right? You don't see the stock tanking. You don't see no return on your investments, whether AMC or GME, right? And so the fact is that they're hoping for that. And because the majority of people go onto their channels and pump them up and gas them up, most of them bots, and most of them scammers, right, who want this play to keep going so they can keep calling your cell phone, trying to get you to invest into their Bitcoin schemes, right, their Dogecoin schemes and their Shiba schemes and all of this other bullshit schemes so that they can take your money. So they need people like Marantz, they need people like Mikey's Money, they need people like Small Bone James, right, Thomas the Scumbag James. They need people like that.
Hey, hold up. You don't get to call him Scumbag James. You didn't know his name was Thomas Smallbone. That's my DD. Why are you stealing my DD? Bro, I'm the one who exposed that guy. Will you stop stealing my DD, Tonko? Talk on your own stuff, bro.
They want to encourage these things. This is why when you go on to Marant's channel today, just to see how things are going in Mikey's Money, you see they got 4,000 views. 2,000 views, because Mikey's Money gets more views than Marantz Rantz, believe it or not, which is ironic, right? But because he lives with his mother, he doesn't pay rent, it doesn't really matter. Unlike Marantz Rantz, that's his career. YouTube is his career. So he relies on the $203 a month he gets from YouTube, that and his job at Costco. See, I do this as a hobby. This isn't a job for me. A perfect example, right? I was monetized on this channel. I'm monetized on my other channel. I have 3 channels. One, I have over 24,000 subscribers, right? And I do pretty well on that channel, right? No biggie, no big deal, because it's not my career. YouTube pays me enough to go out to dinner once a month. When I stay at a hotel, when I travel through Southeast Asia, when I go to Thailand, when I go back to the US, when I travel through the Philippines, it's on my own dime, right? And so this channel used to be monetized up until last month, where I was demonetized on Tanko Native, uncensored. I was demonetized because in order for me to stay monetized, I have to bend over and allow Google to put it inside me, right? I have to talk the way they want me to talk. I have to say things the way they want me to say them, because I'm a big boy, and this channel is for big boys, and it's called Uncensored for a reason. I choose to talk about things that people don't want to say, but they want to hear. People are afraid to say the things that I say, but I'm not. You see? Because this isn't my career. Because the chump change that Marantz Rantz gets from YouTube encourages him to continue to lie, to continue to post, to continue to do the bullshit he does, because he needs you to donate. He needs YouTube to pay him that $203 a month, right? And so he's relying on YouTube in order to pay his bills. And the same with a lot of these scumbags like Thomas James, who does this full-time as a job, right? This isn't a career for me. This isn't a job for me.
Oh, man.
This is a hobby. This is a game. This is a toy that I'm playing with. And so When YouTube began to pay me for this channel, I gladly took their money. And why not? And when they decided not to pay me anymore because they don't like the way I talk, they took the money that they were paying me and decided, hey, listen, we're not going to pay you anymore. And here I am still, talking the same way I talk, saying the same things I say in the way I say them, because YouTube doesn't pay my rent, unlike it pays a quarter of Marantz Rantz rent.
You think that it pays a quarter of my mortgage? Oh, shit. Oh. Keep going, Tonko. Keep going.
Right? And so I will continue to post, I will continue to talk the way I do, and I will continue to say the things that I say. And if someday YouTube wants to remonetize me, I will gladly take their money. But I will continue to be myself. I will continue to say the things I say the way I say them. Because unfortunately, we live in a day and age where if you're not following the bullshit lies that these scumbags, these woke Democrats and these woke politicians want us to follow, right? They want us to admit that there's no crime in the U.S. when there obviously is. They want us to admit that the protests that are going on in the U.S. are peaceful, right? Like the BLM riots, peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. And then when the president comes along and says, hey, enough is enough.
Funny you should say enough is enough. Because I've heard enough. I'm good, bro. You scare me, Tonko. I'm nervous. You make it very obvious that you're infatuated with me, and I'm not about it, bro. I'm scared of you, bro. Matter of fact, when you come to the States, bro, let me know where you're at so I can avoid it. I can't play any much more of that. I'm not gonna let him do his political talk. I am gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna go fill back up. Hey, Tonko, I'm not done though. Okay, I got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk charts. We're gonna talk chat. We're gonna do our thing. But hey, you give me a lot to think about, man. There's scumbags out here. I gotta get to these scumbags. I gotta tell them they gotta stop this bullshit, bro. Can you make sure that they stop talking about GameStop in a positive way? That's not even fair right now. Anyway, I'm gonna play a song for me and you, Tonko. I hope you know it's from me to you, bro. I just want to be homies. There I am. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. You know, I started the show by saying I hate Wall Street, right? Here's what I hate about Wall Street. Wall Street comes out and they say shit like this. I'm going to show you something. Okay, let's go to the SPX. Okay, this is a SPY. All right, we're going to look at the 1 hour chart. And it says, look at this, all-time highs on the SPY. Okay, but at the same time, it's going to tell you that the SPY is getting outpaced because, you know, it was only up 0.83%. It was getting outpaced right here by the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. So the Russell 2000 from 214 all the way up to 224, right? Ran up $10. And that right there was outpacing the SPY. I'll just use the SPY as an example. So it outpaced it, and then the SPY had a spike on the final day. But over the previous 2 days, the SPY went flat, and then that cut up. But that's not true, right? We all know that the SPY went crazy, and nobody else ran with it. And that's only because the SPY is getting pumped, and the whole market's not catching up. Now you have the whole market coming, but it's still not where it needs to be. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. This is the charts that we look at. These are the charts we look at. So you had your 200-day moving average. We came, we fought with it. You tested, came down, tested again, and broke out. Cup and down. This is all textbook. Touch, come down, touch, break out, go up and to the right. Now, is it really running away? It's still nowhere near the 243 that the whole market was back when Trump got elected. Okay? So there's a lot to look forward to come Monday morning. The reason why I'm talking to you tonight is to remind you guys that the 90-day reprieve is up. You have Trump coming in and saying we're going to have some across the board. Now, I did see Scott Bassett. I saw a whole interview with him where he talked about they're going to have some across the board tariffs. Everyone's going to come in. They all agreeing to pay America. Great. I want to see what we're going to pay versus what they're going to pay. So a lot of that comes into play, but what comes in the most is going to be right here. This is going to be, and I'm looking on the monthly, but this is your daily. This is GameStop's window of buying Bitcoin for the price that they paid, right? For what was announced, 4,710, whatever it was. The unfortunate part is we don't know where they bought. A lot of people like to think they bought down here, and the price moved up because of GameStop. Pushed them up, they went flat, pushed them up again. If they bought somewhere in here where it consolidated, it got tight, maybe 100, maybe 104, well, then they're only up about 5,000 a coin, but they have 5,000 coins, it's $25 million, right? And I'm ballparking the 5,000 a coin. So at least $20 million of profit is what we see. But if they did buy in at the 94,000, if they did buy in way down here, 95, 94,000, at these little echelon levels here, everything under 100 grand, they're up 8,000 for those 4,000 tokens. It's around $32 million. So put another 700 in there, 700 times the 8 grand, you're looking at 5. So about $35 million of profit is what you would look at in this window where they bought. Could they have bought again down here at the bottom? They could, but we don't know. We do know that GameStop's going to have profit of around 20 to 30 to 40, all the way up. I mean, they have the potential. If they did buy in at 95, they have the potential to be up 8,000 plus 5, 13,000 a coin. 13,000 times the 4,700. I don't know the math too well, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, and if that's the case, then we're looking at $50 million of profit, right? We're just talking Bitcoin. That's just the sum of all parts. When someone asked me in the chat the other day, they said, Marantz, can you do a sum of all parts for Best Buy? I was like, what do you want me to add up? Their cash, they have $1 billion. What do you want me to add? They're using that cash to pay out a dividend. There you go. It's a flat. It's a round trip on their end. They're not buying back shares. Even though they do have a buyback in there, but they're not buying back enough to make a difference or to make an impact to the stock. Additionally, they're trading at X amount when it comes to earnings. They're trading. Right now, the PE ratios are way low because that's where the stock is. They've been around for 40 years, guys, 30 years. That's what happens with companies that have been in industries like Coke, like McDonald's, like these companies have been around forever. They're flat. There's no growth and there's no transition or pivot. For GameStop, for people to understand about the growth, they have to think about profit margin. There's massive profit margins because they're doing an industry change. They are changing from software and hardware and accessories. They're going through that transition where now collectibles are a bigger portion of the pie when it comes to their top line revenue. They had more collectible sales than software. Well, I don't know if that's going to be the case this quarter. This quarter right now, you have the Switch 2 and all their games. That's hardware and software. Physical media. That's going to be king right now. Does that mean margins come down? Absolutely. But the cards are still there. You still have a reason to shop. Every Friday, every Saturday, every refill. In 2 weeks right now, they're going to refill up on Pokemon again. And people go just for that. But hey, I showed a picture today in the Discord of a damn scalper who was literally in line. And I'll show it to you. I don't mind. He was in front of me. And I took a picture and I said, hey man, I'm going to post that picture, man. I want people to see. And he said, no, man, no big deal. We're out here. Well, I'm going to show you guys something. Pay attention. This guy was in line for Pokemon cards. He didn't get them. They ran out. They have the live Pokemon cards on the deck back there, but he bought Select. Look at him. He bought NBA Select, or NFL Select, the new rookies, whatever it is. He bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 8. His buddy had another 2. Look at all the cards in the shelf down at the bottom. They had all these cards down here, boxes of cards, maps. That's it. And GameStop can defend itself by buying more. They could defend itself by buying more. GameStop's crazy, bro. These guys got into things that are partnering up with where private equity's strong, but it goes against what hedges against them. Crypto hedges against GameStop. Guess what? You can't. They're in crypto. You want to come out and tell me that the industry is dead? Well, then I'm going to show you their margins are up. They're at 34.5% on margins. That's crazy margin. That's a magnificent margin. Anything over 30 is just next level, certainly for what they're doing. So this is my position right now. I have my shit's locked and loaded. It's ready to go. Right now I'm at 1089 with $27,000 put in, right? My $27,000 is my money to lose, Tonko. I think I'm going to lose it all, Tonko. No, I'm not going to lose a single dollar. My cost average is $24.78. We've been over that plenty of times this whole year. We're at the bottom of the stock right now. We're at the bottom, and I feel good about saying that. I had a guy ask me, can we go lower? I don't think we can. And just me personally, the way the support has gone over all the years, I don't know where it could go, how it could go down. But I've been saying that before, and it happens, and then we end up rejoicing because we get really good prices, right? But let me show you some charts, and let's talk about this in detail. Barely 7:44. I'll take a shower soon because we're about to go out and have a good night. My wife and I, we go out every Saturday. You guys know this. All right, let's talk about Tesla. Tesla guys came out with the numbers. They're down 13% on as far as vehicles delivered. We knew that there was going to be a down day, a down number on Tesla, only because all the damage done to Tesla dealerships and cars over this last quarter. People need to know what's happening here on Tesla. They did just form a golden cross on the daily. I'm not a big fan of Tesla, but they do own $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. We'll see how it all plays out. People are looking at MicroStrategies, same deal, overvalued. To be at 543 at one point, test the tops. You look like you have some support down here. You bounce off the 200-day moving average. You're in here. You're holding the 50-day moving average. There's a lot to look forward to here. They could have their last run. The problem with this last run is they're offering up to $25 billion worth of equity, and no one's buying it. It's an open tag, an open ticket, and no one's buying it. Michael Saylor has tapped himself out. He can do all the Bitcoin conferences in the world. They have no more cash. They're out of cash, guys. MicroStrategies is. So to offer up equity, you eventually have to pay back the equity. You pay it back with shares. It dilutes the current shareholders. Well, guess what's happening? You're getting tapped out on money borrowed in 2020, 2021, 2022 right now. Portions of it. So that's what's happening. They're taking their run. They might end up taking a bath and go all the way down to the ground, not understanding how to leverage. They overextended themselves in one direction. Michael Saylor's not a genius. He just overextended himself. And he has people believing otherwise, but that's not going to be the case. People are going to own that company. They're going to own that Bitcoin and the value of it. He has to sell it. They have nowhere to go. And that's the unfortunate part for him. For GameStop, they didn't leverage themselves at all. They did exactly what they could do, which was phenomenal. Let's go ahead and look at that chart so I can break down more about it. So you can feel good about what you're looking at, all my people. Pay attention. This is the weekly. We formed a golden cross. It takes more weeks to play out right here. We're crossing. As we cross, it's going to go sideways a little bit, but we're eventually going to come off and start breaking towards the upside of it. You'll get the true golden run, and we're going to run out of this zone completely. We're going to completely run way up here, $100 to $200 a share. There's no way around it. If you look at the last time we had a golden cross right here, you had a golden cross, boom, we cross, and we ran out of it. We ran out of the zone that was here. You were getting closer and closer and closer. Previous golden cross was here, okay? You touched, we started going up, and as we broke past, you saw them run out of this zone. It's the same thing, same rhyme and reason. This is the life and death of this stock that it's always been. I mean, it's just math, guys. The buying pressure comes in, your 200-day, your short-term moving average goes above your long-term, and that's bullish. You break off bullish, everyone starts piling in. This is going to be your FOMO run from $2 all the way to $10. This happened. This on console cycle, believe it or not. Well, guess what? You got a console cycle right now. And right now, aside from this 2021 manipulation of the stock itself, you have true support. You found it, and everything matches. You have the Dorito coming across. You have the 200-day right there. You have the 50-day. This is all on the weekly. It's all there for you. On the monthly itself, you still have support up and to the right on the blue line, so it has to go up to 27. Why do we say 27? Here's the gap. You have this gap right here at $28.40 something. Okay? GameStop was here, earnings was there. After earnings, they shorted us on down. Our leadership bought it all back. As you guys know, Jim Groupie just announced that he bought more shares, 5,000 shares, over $123,000 worth of shares. Our insiders buy shares, guys. So as you see this, we're pulling out of this. We're coming out of this zone. We can run freely all the way up to 28.40. So from 23 to 28.40 is the short term. It's going to happen on the daily. There's nowhere they can hide. You will have that close on the gap. Last time we had a gap, you'll see it here. We had a gap up and a gap back down. What happened? They shorted us all the way to the ground, and we closed that gap in a hurry. You'll see it right here, straight across. Closed the gap. We tested, and as we tested, we broke all the way back up, and we broke out all the way to 35. They short us down. Here we are. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to go test it again. We're going to go smack dab into that damn purple line. It's going to happen, and we're going to get up out of here. That's what's going to happen on this stock. We're going to run $28. We're going to hit up here at 30, 31, 30, and we're going to be out of here, out of the zone, and we'll be playing in a new world because our previous resistance, this purple line, will be our support. The true resistance that comes, you have another one. It's right here. You can go down one, and you can push this out just a tad, and you'll get yourself back a little. But you're still going to have resistance here in the 30s and 32s. So you're going to be able to still push out and play with the big yellow line. The big yellow line, the Laker line, that's the gold line. We will break out of that. Within this next year, there's no way about it. There's no way around it. Everyone knows exactly where we're headed. So we're headed towards this yellow line. When we break 30, let's see, when we break 34, yeah, we'll break 34. When we break 34, 35, it's a run. It's a run, and we go and hit this top right here, and then we play in here, and then we break out of here. And you break out of here, and you'll run all the way to 120. No problem. You won't hit anything in the way. It'll be one of those days where people are making videos and people are making memes and everyone's putting on a space helmet and they're coming out. That's how it's going to happen for us. So, absolutely awesome. Germany sales crash even further. Yeah, I believe it. Wasn't happening. Microsoft fired 9,000 people and canceled future games. I saw that. Also saw Walmart start letting go of their tech sector as well. Everyone's letting go of people. Everyone knows what's coming. We'll know more on Monday. I anticipate terrible news on Monday just because that's where the headlines and the timelines work out for us. But for GameStop itself, we're killing it, bros. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the DMs. Pass them my way. I just want to get live in front of you guys and talk it out with the stock. I had it all worked out where I was paying attention to Adobe, Crocs, and Carvana. I know Carvana got an increase. I know Crocs got a decrease. But it really didn't matter to me. I figured if I can come out here and talk to you and spit it with you guys for the last hour and a half, I've got nothing on Hakeem Jeffries. If you guys didn't watch Hakeem Jeffries, he went out there in what they call the Magic Minute. It's where you want to filibuster, where you want to grandstand, out there and try to hold back a bill coming through, like the big, beautiful bill. And he went out there and he said his bullshit. But if you actually read the fine print on the big, beautiful bill, it's a big, beautiful bullshit. Okay? And I mean this in the best way and the worst way. Guys, I don't care. Okay, I don't care about politics like you guys think I do. I support whoever's in office, no matter whom it is. But in this case, private equity is getting a bailout on that big, beautiful bill, and you should read the fine print about private equity and how they're going to get taxed. That's fine, though. I mean, that's part of business. That's the price of doing it. I don't have to do the business with them, but that's the way it's going down. I saw the jobs report came out. It was 147,000 jobs. Guess what? The variance and error there is 120K. And the truth is, it's down every year for the last 5 years, which is not fair because of COVID, but you've averaged around 300,000 jobs in the month of May, and now you have 147,000. And they can tell you came in on where you're going to be, but nope, lower end paying jobs, basically not the real jobs for me. I did see that we had a Vietnam deal. Cool. Does that mean the market goes up? Probably not. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to tell you guys something on my way out. Okay. I deal with a lot this week. A lot of personal stuff, a lot of lies said about me and my family and my wife, and we were upset at first, and then You find time to get over it. You're just like, man, what do you expect out of people? It's the internet. Then I talked to Almo, and Almo helps me out a lot on this with mental clarity for the channel, for the group, for all of us. How short it is costs. I don't believe it is. I don't care for costs. I don't care to talk about costs. I don't have any options plays on it, and it's not an investment I would make. And we haven't talked about it in years, Movier. I mean, there's no point in talking about it. It's so stupid. If you're invested into investments because of short, you're stupid. And this whole basket theory, that's wrong too. Your basket theory is wrong. Guys, it's GameStop or nothing. Okay? It's very simple. It always has been. Your basket theory is not understanding hedging. There's a hedge to it all. Okay? They hedge private equity plays versus GameStop. That's it. Private equity. I've already showed it to you. I've already explained it to you. And if you don't know, go watch Connect the Dots. Every damn episode. It's right there on the playlist. There's a playlist on the channel called Connect the Dots. Go watch them all. And thank me later. And then when you watch them, you'll understand. I have interviewed every professional that exists in this world when it comes to private equity and these investments and how they do it. I've interviewed CEOs. I've interviewed former Drexel Burnham Lambert guys. Everything's there on the channel, guys. This is a history of knowledge, and hopefully you guys understand it. And if you don't, well, then that's on you. But listen. It's a real personal thing when you get attacked from people that you trust or whatever it may be, and then you're like, why the hell are you attacking me, dude? Or lying on you or whatever they say to you. It's happened to me plenty of times while I've been doing this for a long time. Noah's building this ark. Okay. Noah says, I'm going to start building an ark. I'm going to tell everyone. And everyone's going to make fun of me while I do it. They're going to be like, what the hell is he doing? Why the hell is he going live every day talking about a deadbeat company and a dead stock? He could have done other things even better. He could have invested into that company, into that thing, into this. He could have helped out people this way. Why is he walking the streets with his own personal money and time? And then he gets his wife involved. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Why? Noah was building this ark. And he said, well, God spoke to me. And I said, for me to build this so I can help people. I'm building this. And even though I have 1 million people in my head trying to attack me and tell me I'm wrong and trying to tell me I could be doing other things, I've been showed temptation. If you listen to the videos, they're like, hey, you gave up the bag. We offered you money. I got offered money from Bill Pulte. I got offered money from every which direction for people to do deals, partnerships, sponsoring, funding. And I say no. Even my family. I'm building something. Because when the rain comes, and it's coming, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm going to pray for you. There's only so many spots. And we literally buy them every day, and we build this damn thing brick by brick. Educating ourselves on this investment like you wouldn't believe. When people read the finances, when they actually read the fundamentals for GameStop and they compare it to every company on Wall Street, it's crazy. It's like, what the hell? Why? Everyone asks, why? Why doesn't it get the true value? Why is it? Dude, these guys are so amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been trying to tell you. We're building this thing. And you guys are all along for the ride. You guys are doing it the right way. I'm trying to be the best man I can be while keeping my integrity intact, while just trying to remain wholesome and humble and being a servant of the people. And I'm telling you, man, it takes a lot. Fuck. Excuse my language. It takes so much not to be that guy. To be the villain, to be the enemy, to turn. And I'm just like, no, I'm built different. I'm different. I'm going to be this guy, the bigger person every time. It takes a lot out of you, mentally, physically. I'm building something, bros. And Noah was doing the same thing. And when that rain came, he just started praying for people. When this happens, and it's going to happen, I'm going to start praying for people. I love you all. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Let's have a great night. I'm going to get out there with the wife. I'll see you guys around. Peace.
Oh, baby! Hey, come on, dude, let's hurry up, man. We gotta get it.
Quizá no fue coincidencia encontrarme contigo.
Tal vez esto lo hizo el destino.